Good evening. This is Shri here again, and I'm here to do the NFL Week 3 um, predictions and analysis. So, as we know, like Thursday night, we had San Francisco win easily against the New York Giants. They look like the team to beat in the NFC. They're probably one of the best teams, not only in their own division, but also in the conference and the NFL. I mean, Brock Purdy has been playing amazing. They have too many weapons on the offense with Debo Samuel, CMC, and George Kittle, and their defense is one of the best. So San Francisco right now sits on top 3-0 in their own division. Um, then let's look at the full slate of games for tomorrow, and we'll start in the Midwest in the lovely town of Detroit. Um, we have the Falcons coming in. They've been a little bit of a surprise. They're 2-0 in that division where Buccaneers as well as Saints are 2-0. But this time they go on the road at the Ford Field. Uh, Lions are coming off a very tough loss against Seahawks. So I do feel that the Lions will bounce back strong and they will win against the Falcons to go 2-1. The next one is the battle of the 2-2 teams, Chargers and Vikings, and it's at Vikings. But I do feel that the Chargers will come out victorious in that game. The Chargers were pretty close in their match against Titans, but I do feel that on the road they could easily win that. Then comes to another surprising 2-0 team, which is the Saints going all the way to Green Bay. Green Bay should have been 2-0. They had a big lead against Atlanta on the road, 24-12, and they ended up losing by 1 point. So I feel that Green Bay will be ready to give New Orleans their first loss of the season. Then we come to the AFC. We have the Houston Texans and the Jaguars. The Jaguars had many chances to beat the Chiefs, and they played them really good. They only gave up 17 points on defense, but they only managed to score 9 points on offense. But I do think that Texans, CJ Stroud, still a rookie quarterback. I feel that the Jaguars with Trevor Lawrence and their defense should be able to win that game easily. Then come the Dolphins hosting on Denver Broncos. I feel that the Denver Broncos on the road in Miami, hot weather, I feel that the Miami's offense is way too good, and they will easily go to 3-0 against Denver. Then we get to Cleveland Browns and Tennessee Titans. I was a little conflicted on this game. I wasn't too sure. Cleveland is playing well, but the Titans have gotten a good wake-up call after their loss in the first game. They were able to win against the Chargers, a high-powered offense. But it's almost like a pick-em game. I do feel that the Titans may prevail against the Browns on the road. Then we have the Bills traveling all the way to Washington. Now, this is a very interesting game considering I was not really high on Washington. Bills have bounced back strongly after their disappointment against the Jets in the first game. But they're going on the road to Washington, D.C. Weather could be a huge factor with the tropical storm coming through. But I have a feeling that the Bills may have enough to give Washington its first loss of the season. And they were 2-0. I mean, Washington had a big win on the road at Denver last week. Then we have the Colts traveling all the way to the Ravens. The Ravens have been going through some bug, but I have a feeling that they have too much firepower, and they would easily prevail against the Colts. Then come to one of the games that I'm more interested in, the Jets and Patriots. And the Patriots are in desperate mode. They have to win the game. They're playing against Zach Wilson and not Aaron Rodgers. Even when they were playing against Aaron Rodgers, I gave Patriots a win, so I do have to stick to that. Patriots on the road pick up the win against the Jets. Then we have the Panthers going all the way to Seahawks. The Seahawks really surprised me last week playing against Lions in the overtime. They just marched down the field, and Geno Smith and Lockett and they have been Metcalf. They have been too good, and I have a feeling that they are going to deal Panthers a loss. on the road for the Panthers, and then Seahawks should emerge victorious. They're keeping it very close with 49ers. Um, and then we get to Bears and Chiefs. Should I say anything right now? Because the Chiefs, Mahomes and the Chiefs are going to win easily against the Bears. The Bears have no shot on the road at Arrowhead. So Kansas City goes up to 2-1. Then we got the Cardinals playing the Cowboys at home. Cowboys had great defense, but they played against the Jets and Giants. And the Cardinals are coming also after a loss against the Giants after being up 20-0. Cowboys, despite the fact that they did lose Diggs for the season, they have too much firepower. So I do feel that the Cowboys will win against the Cardinals on the road. Then we get to the Steelers and Raiders. I mean, this was again another tough matchup. I didn't know which way to go. The Steelers and Pickett picked up a huge win in the second game, but they're traveling on the road to the Vegas, and Vegas, they're 1-1. I have a feeling that Vegas will have enough to beat the Steelers, despite the fact that Steelers have great defense as well. Then we have the Eagles and Buccaneers, and again, this was another. It's a matchup of 2-0 teams. Who'd have thought that the Buccaneers would be 2-0 post Tom Brady era? But the Eagles are good, but if there's anything that the Bucs may be able to keep it close, their defense may keep it close. It's a home game as well. I'm actually calling for the upset here. I do feel that the Buccaneers are going to beat the Eagles here. Then we got the Rams going to the Bengals. I have a feeling that, I did not pick the Rams in their first game. They managed to win their second game, but I do feel that on the road against the Bengals are desperate, and they have to win this game. There's no way Bengals are going 0-3. I have a feeling that the Bengals will prevail. So that's on Monday night. So with that, we wrap up week number 3, and we could have some 3-0 teams. I do feel that Miami, the Bucks, will be 3-0, and 0-3 wise, let's see. I have a feeling that the Chargers may be 0-3. Texans will be 0-3. Denver could be 0-3. So there's a lot at hand there. So let's see how this turns out. Thank you for listening.